Thing done number 2, Charlotte. Charlotte and Harry. What I said. They were gonna do it to Harry. Here we go. Let's get into it. So, this is one hell of a thing to unpack because it involves so many other different people, and some of it is just malarkey on top of bullshit. So, Charlotte is expressing herself to Carrie as they're walking and talking down a fake New York City street with fake New York City patrons on the street. I say this because nobody walks that slow and doesn't get run over. I'm sorry. I'm being truthful. You know, you walk that slow, you're going to get trampled. That's why we call it, New York, and it's always in a rush. But that's okay. I won't go there. Charlotte is asking Carrie, how's her relationship with Aiden at this point? And, Carrie is expressing herself saying, well, I have to come to the acceptance that he's not my everyday beau. Sure. Okay. And Charlotte goes into a little, soliloquy by saying, oh my God, I don't know what I would do without Harry, to wake up with him every day and go to bed with him every day. I don't know how I would handle it. And I'm like, yeah. Plug number 1. So, and she's saying this to Carrie, who I don't know if anybody else remembers, but you remember Big, right? You remember when he died? You remember how Charlotte reacted when he died? You remember how we all reacted when he was killed off from a Peloton, or for some people might think that he was murdered by Carrie. And she's telling Carrie this emotional story about how she would feel about losing Harry, and in nowhere, at no time, does Carrie say, you will get through it. It's hard. I got through it. I just got off the horse and then got back on it from my recycled horse. It may not happen to you the same way, Charlotte, but the writers will make sure that you're okay. But it's like, she says, oh yeah, okay. You don't have to worry about that. He's not going anywhere. I'm like, hello? This is the moment where you bond. I lost my husband. You were there for me with Big. If it happens, we'll get through it. Nothing. We've just erased Big. Bye. Next, Charlotte is walking with Harry in front of the Guggenheim Museum at night with the dog. They're walking and talking, and he relives his, I peed on my pants, but I had an Instagram moment in the club. I relived my limp banana moment from the last episode with Pop. And then he proceeds to tell her, I just got it checked out, just in case. And by the way, hey, they found out I have prostate cancer. Just like that. And then I'm okay. I'm like, okay. And Charlotte with her expressionless expressions. Oh my God. You see, I don't have Botox. You can see that, right? I don't have Botox. So I have expressions. Okay. So he is trying to calm her down, of course. And he goes into this monologue that they caught it early. There's a 98% or 96, I want to say 96% chance, and that famous people got it as well, and they're okay. He's okay. So are you okay? Are you okay? You got to say you're okay. I'm like, well, sure. I mean, you asked me to go outside for a walk to tell me as we're walking and talking that your pee-pee has cancer or your prostate, which is affecting the rest of us. And better yet, he says, what I don't want you to do, please do me a favor, anything, I'll do anything for you. Don't tell anybody. Has he met Charlotte? Does he know his wife? That is like asking Carrie to take off her shoes. You know it's coming, right? The Carrie Chronicles. But he doesn't want to be known as the cancer man. Okay. So she's supposed to hold this in, not tell her friends, only speak about it with him, and not even tell her family or her children that he has prostate cancer, but they caught it early. I don't have any information on what's the next steps. They don't really get into it. Is he going for treatment? Is it a pill? Is it chemo? He's going to be okay. He's okay. He's okay. Okay, great. The next scene is Charlotte in her kitchen, dazed and lost, making food in her outfit again, while Anthony, where his only scene in this show, is asking if she's okay, because remember, we have to be okay now. And she can't speak to him about it, but the kids run in. Lily and Rock. Oh, this is fun. They have decided to create a united front because they don't want to go glamping over the weekend, which is something that's scheduled between Charlotte and her husband and LTW and her husband. And Charlotte goes off on a tangent saying that you are going to go, and that now Lily doesn't want to go because, oh my God, I have to refrain my rant on this one because I want to go off. You have no idea. You just don't even know. And I'm going to try to keep it as controlled as possible. Oh, Lord. Lordy, 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 Lordy. Somebody save me. Oh. Lily. If she misses her weekend, which is this weekend, with her polyamorous, polysexual boyfriend, he is going to utilize that weekend with the boyfriend instead of her. Okay. So, Charlotte, who has been lobotomized, is allowing this to happen. In the sense that, I'll get into this right now. Let me just finish the scene. She tells her she doesn't care what she does with her polysexual, polyamorous relationship. They're going glamping this weekend. That's it. That's it. She put her foot down. Okay. She turns to Anthony and she tells Anthony, can you believe parenting is this way? And Anthony is like, oh, no. No. I don't know what he's saying no to, if he's as shocked as I am about this whole relationship. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because that's all we hear from him again. I am going to start the rant. And for those who don't agree with me, I'm sorry that you don't. Not that I'm saying this. I just have a few things in my mind. One, in this show, Lily is supposed to be playing a teenager, okay? Though she's not a teenager in real life. I get that. Where on earth is it okay, whether you're a male or female, to grow up in a value of a family, that it is okay to share your boyfriend or girlfriend? I don't care if it's a bisexual thing or not. Why is that okay? And isn't Charlotte the one from her entire history having an issue with that when she went off on Carrie in Sex and the City for having an affair with Big because he was married? Where are you? Where are the writers? Why are you bringing in this storyline to a teenager? A teenager. To make it okay, to be acceptable, to be in this type of relationship when you don't even have the right to vote yet. And even if you did, you don't have the mental capacity to understand. Let me be clear what Lily said. She acknowledges that she's in this relationship, and she acknowledges that she's in a competition with the boyfriend of her boyfriend for time. Do you honestly think that this is okay? You honestly think that people are raising their families like this? You have no morals or self-respect. My God. If you are an adult and you make this conscious decision to be in this type of relationship, which I know many people have, that is why the word and the frame is out there. That is your choice. You've gone through this whole process. But you have a teenage child, and we're watching this, experiencing this for what purpose? To introduce what storyline? What is happening in this writing room? Why do you choose this character to be okay with that, to this parent to be lobotomized and be okay with that? This is not a funny scene. I'm not making this funny. I'm freaking pissed the fuck off. Okay? It is disgusting. We're trying to teach people, not just women, but men, to have self-respect for yourself, for your body. She does not have the presence of mind to make a decision to share herself with another person. That is not a relationship. That is a joke. And then to have Charlotte not even sit down with her. This is the Charlotte that had a heart attack in season 1, where she saw her making sexy poses in her Instagram and had a secret account. This is the same Charlotte that slowly became lobotomized when she ran around in a freaking snowstorm to buy her daughter condoms so she could lose her virginity. This is now the fully lobotomized Charlotte, where she's like, yeah, okay, I know that you're in a polyamorous relationship and then you know. Again, if you're a full-fledgling adult and this is your choice, whether you have any reasons because your self-esteem or you enjoy it or whatever the hell is going on in your life, you're an adult. Okay? You are. If you came to me for advice, I would tell you the same thing. Why? Why? Why would you want to share yourself with somebody else? Why? And if you gave me a reason, I would still say, why? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't mean that it's not right. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. But that's okay. That's your choice. But this, I don't understand what the hell is going on in this show. Why? And I'm not saying why, like, give me a reason. Why are you allowing for this storyline to happen to this specific character and this specific age group? What are you trying to say? Because I'm going to tell you, it no good. No bueno, me no likey, and it's stupid and disrespectful. Okay? And that's why I'm coming close to seriously writing a letter to these people. Because this is just a joke at this point. You have ruined not only the show, but every moral compass possible. Oh, I'm not going to get into a rant again. I got to stop. Next scene. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offend some people. I'm sorry if this is not the funny version. I had to get that off my chest because I lost it again when I saw this. I was like, this is bullshit. This is freaking bullshit. Okay. Back to center. Next scene. Of course, this is all happening as, Charlotte is upset about the fact that she has her husband who has prostate cancer keep saying that he's okay. So we've made Harry not possible to have prostate cancer. He doesn't want to be called Cancer Boy, but now he's called Mosquito Boy because now they're in the middle of the glamping of Governor Island where Charlotte is trying to keep herself contained because she can't say anything to anyone, not even her children, why it's important to bring this glamping weekend to a front facing, okay? And he is smacking himself because the mosquitoes are coming after him, and this is a joke. There's no context to what's happening to his physical self. Like, okay, so now this is about Charlotte trying to contain herself. She gets upset with LTW and husband because they're fighting about the freaking chocolate that she forgot. And she jumps up out of her seat. What is the problem? We can get chocolate at the gift shop. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's not like it has cancer. And her husband is looking at her. And I guess he doesn't understand the fact that Charlotte needs a friend. She cannot just speak to you about this. And on top of that, I don't know what you're talking about because all you care about is that we're okay. So they've turned Harry into a mosquito magnet. The next scene you have is her in the glamping tent, and she wants the family, who has not done anything other than what they do when they're at home, is sit on their freaking asses on the freaking computer or laptop or phone. Harry's watching the Mets game. The girls are doing something on the computers or phones. You know, Lily is upset because she feels like she doesn't want to be there. She wants to be with her, you know, polyamorous boyfriend. And, you know, Charlotte goes off. And now Harry is afraid of mosquitoes. So now he's buttoned himself up completely. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do with this storyline. And he just looks utterly ridiculous and paranoid. Maybe he needs to express himself. And Charlotte is just like fed up, and she tells Lily, go if you want to go to your stupid relationship, and you're never going to get this weekend back. And no one understands why she's losing it other than Harry. Okay. So then he's like, please calm down. And I want to say, please stop it. Because if I were there, I go back to what I would do. Karen Walker, I'd be like, what is happening? What's going on? What are you doing? What's happening here? She leaves. She's at the park where LTW shows up because she had her drama with her husband and her, you know, drama. They both decide to go to the spa. They both decide to be in the water again. And this is the moment that I told you was the tender moment that I missed from the show, because Charlotte is being eaten up inside. She can't express herself or tell anyone what's hurting her, not even to her closest friends, who should be Miranda and Carrie. Not even them. Not even to her children, which I can understand it would be, you know, especially if you don't have any details to give your children, because I don't know what's happening with Harry. Nobody tells me anything. They just like, oh, he has prostate cancer and we got it. And they know something is wrong with her, knowing LTW, and she puts her arm on her shoulder because she doesn't want to tell her. And that's it. I want to say that's the last we see of Charlotte. Oh my God, that was, that was hard. That hurt me. I had to let that out. And that's why this was kind of weird, because there was so many things interconnected between the story of the polyamorous and Charlotte and LTW. And it's like, wow, I am so glad I was able to share that with you guys. And again, I'm sorry if it wasn't funny. I know sometimes you expect that, but this came from like my heartfelt pain and expression. I'm like, whew, not everything can be funny, guys. Okay. And I'm sorry. It's just, this one was, we're progressively going down the rabbit hole, but I'm taking you with me. Are you with me? Have you guys already had 3 drinks? For me? Can you please send some over to me? Okay, let's breathe, everybody. Woosah. Our remaining ding dong is next. Wait for it. Part 2. Ding dong number 1. The star of the show, as I noted before, Carrie. I've let go a lot of anger from my last rant, so let's hope I have enough to give you the best version I can to make you guys laugh, because I know the last one I just did was pretty heavy. Okay? Carrie's a bitch. There you go. Carrie's a selfish, materialistic bitch. She always has been. They continue to write her this way. She has no growth, no self-awareness, and it's all about Carrie. And Carrie, because we're all in Carrie's world, and we're just all squirrels still trying to get a nut. You know, that's what we are. We have no self-will. We got to continue watching this bullcrap. Carrie. The scene opens where she is opening up her doors to what I thought was the entirety of the mansion. I did not realize what's going to be happening in this episode. She sees a man getting out of the car. And of course, Carrie's eyes are already open on any man that walks by because she has disconnected herself from Aiden. So anything that walks by that remotely looks like a human breathing man, she's going to be like, And she starts narrating, oh, the endless possibilities. What, wasn't it just like last weekend that you were telling Aiden you love him? And you're talking about the endless possibility? You haven't even seen this guy's face yet. Okay? But that's Carrie. Because she can't be with anything other than herself and a man's. Okay? So, the next monologue or montage that you see is legitimately her walking in her empty apartment with her heavy ass, funky ass feet that I cannot get over the visual from the last episode. And you just see a variety of different moments of her walking up and down, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, clickety, clackety, up and down all day long in her fucking shoes. Now, this affects the new neighbor that apparently there's a downstairs to this mansion. Now, I was not aware of this. I missed the Hobbit unit underneath her house that shares a garden. I would think from the parade of rats that were living in the garden, that would be the first place that will have an infestation because they can get in there very easily. As she's clicking and clackling, you see the neighbor that's downstairs in the Hobbit home. Holy crap, that place looks like shit. I don't even understand what I'm looking at. I'm like, what? Okay, let's not jump ahead before I start going into that rant. He is upset. He finally climbs up the iron stairs, knocks on her door, and yells at her saying, do you not stop wearing heels? Something like that. She tries to introduce herself, and he doesn't give a fairy rat's behind. I like him. For now. Until she ruins him too. And he asks, this is the part that I love. He asks, do you not have rugs? And she says, I meant to. I just moved in here 3 months ago. Whoa. This is all happening within 3 months ago that you moved in? So you mean to tell me the Thanos snap, Thanos moving to the farm, the disgusting phone sex, the one-night booty call, the trip to the farm to meet the Manson family and the Stepford husband, Bob the boyfriend, has all been 3 months? This is all the time that's passed? 3 months. Is this their way of trying to justify the fact that this woman has not had a lick of furniture? Waiting for Aiden for 3 months? When there was a 5-year plan? So I don't understand. If there was a 5-year plan of no communication, it's only been 3 months. How long do you think it was going to take for you to get furniture? But we have a timeline now. It's been 3 months. So Hobbit, the neighbor Hobbit, I have to call him that because when I see where he lives, it's a Hobbit, home for a Hobbit. So he's the neighbor Hobbit. I don't care if he's 6 foot tall. This is a ridiculous scenario. Okay. Is upset because all she does is walk up and down the damn hallway of her home that's empty, and he wants her to get carpeting, and that's it. So he says, can you at least take off your shoes? And then of course Carrie goes off the rails and say, oh honey, that's never gonna happen. Great. Next scene, she's in a restaurant with Seema, Charlotte, Miranda, and herself. Finally, the four pseudo amigos are together. And of course, she's talking about the fact that her neighbor wants her to stop walking in her heels. And there's communication between the three of them. Seema says, well, I told you about this neighbor. He comes in every 6 months. You might have told Carrie, but you didn't tell us. I don't remember seeing. Well, I guess we don't have to because they're introducing it now. I would think that, but I don't understand the construct in this thing. Does he own that part of it, or is he renting it from her? I don't think he's renting it. So she owns everything from the house to the garden, and they share the garden, and he's only there 6 months. Like, okay, maybe sure, we'll go with that. So, of course, as Carrie is explaining her conundrum, Miranda chimes in and said, yeah, neighbors suck. And this is where I say it's all about Carrie and Carrie Land and Carrie World. Well, what does that have to do about me? I'm not doing like a headbanging music. How does that relate to me? Because it's all about me, and it's about me, and this is Carrie Show, me, and I'm the executive producer. It's me, 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 me. I might have to go on a rant again. Are you with me? So, carry me. Miranda say, I'm just agreeing with you. Neighbors suck. My God, can you not bite my head off? Great friendship. And she says the name of the neighbor, Duncan Reeves or Duncan My Knees or something Duncan. I don't give a shit. And both non-writers, because Carrie's a writer, know who this guy is. He's a big-time biographer, which, by the way, I love. I love watching that. I love reading it. Know who he is instantaneously. And Carrie's like, oh my God, I didn't make the connection because you're not a writer. I'm not even sure if you're a reader. Because your two friends who don't write know who this guy is. Apparently, he's a bigwig. Okay, great. Charlotte tells her, hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Play any advocate you want. It's not going to work. Because she tells her, it is kind of disgusting to be walking around your house with heels. And I couldn't agree more, but that's personal preference, right? Okay. I could just tell you that if you're a guest in my home, you're taking off your shoes, and I do have guest socks that are cleaned, washed, and I buy a pack every time. I don't want dirt in my house from the street. I have linoleum floor, not linoleum, I have tile flooring. And I'm the only one that lives here, and I have to clean. I don't have a maid. And it's negative energy. And it's disgusting outside. And you're trampling around my house with your dirty your dirty sneakers, boots. Even in my son's house, we all take off our shoes, and there's like a little cubby where you put your shoes and you put your socks on. I'm not saying that he got it from me, but I know at least 5 of my friends who do that. I do. Like, it's not abnormal. So Charlotte says that, and here we go with the second fucking reference. Carrie, well, I'm going to play The Devil Wears Prada, and I have a right to shoes. Well, that's great. I don't remember that being in the movie. I've only watched it twice, but I do remember an episode in Sex and the City where she did make that reference when her friend asked her to take off her shoes at the door, and she says she gets upset because her shoes get lost and she has the right to shoes. I'm like, all right, so what happened? The free model ChatGPT couldn't find another reference to use. Here we go. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Miranda tries to knock some sense in her, saying that this guy, Duncan Reeves or Duncan Tees or The Hobbit, has writer's block, and that he's working on his next novel, and that she's been waiting for him to finish it, and to please take off your shoes. And, of course, as Carrie, me, says, I don't care who he is. I don't care if it was William Shakespeare himself living under me. The shoes don't come off. Okay. Her book of the 1840s is going to be fantastical. Fantastical. She has a good handle on everything. Next, she tries to create a welcome package for said Duncan, the Hobbit. She goes downstairs and gives him a gift package of things that are sourced in the neighborhood, wine, tea, crap. He invites her in, and may I just say, this place is a 1970s Unabomber looking Hobbit home. The windows are dirty. The stove is from 1940. I am not even sure if he even changed the sheets. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. There's not even lighting. Okay? If he owns this place, he really, and he's, even if he stays 6 months out of the year, you could buy Windex. Because I'm in my head picking what are there's stoves that are now not that expensive. You're there 6 months out of the year. Get a lamp. Change a tile. I don't know how many years he's been there. Maybe this is his first 6 months. I don't know. But I wouldn't step foot in that place because I would think that that's where the rats came from. So he invites her in. I guess this is going to be her new boyfriend because she's trying to win him over. And he's like, yeah, I'm not buying it. And he says, I'm a writer. I need my sleep during the day. Okay. I sympathize to an extent, only because I do have insomnia and I do my best more work during the night. I can understand that. But that's nobody else's problem. But I do understand where he's coming from as well. Even if it's during the day, the clicking and clacking is ridiculous. And if I had a neighbor doing that all day long, I would be beating the crap out of them with their own fucking shoes. Doesn't matter what time of day. It's just disrespectful. Now, they're going back and forth, and he tells her he's got something for her as well, and he bought her a pair of slippers. I don't know how he knows what size of her funky feet. But he bought it for her. She gets offended. She says, I'm allergic to this. And he's like, allergic to what? To anything that what you think. She's trying to give him an attitude. She's trying to stand her ground, saying that you didn't have to buy me these slippers. I'm trying to be nice. And yeah, thank you very much. It's just the whole scene is stupid. They're just trying to create tension where tension doesn't need to be, because she always needs to be in some sort of conflict. And we've erased Aiden, obviously, because now she's fighting with this guy, which is the big equivalent to her big love. And she goes back upstairs. And then the next scene, she is trying to step lightly in the apartment in order not to annoy him, right? Thinking that he's still downstairs because she's invited Miranda to sleep over after her meat machete incident at her Airbnb. And she tells Miranda to take off her shoes. And Miranda's like, but you have your shoes on. And she's like, well, that's because I know how to walk in them, because she's light-footed. She shows her how light-footed she is as she goes to the door as the doorbell rings. The doorbell rings because she presumes that's the Hobbit man downstairs upset because of Miranda's clunking feet. No, it's a delivery of this godforsaken table that she didn't expect because she wasn't expecting a delivery. And guess who brought her the table? It was Aiden who bought the table, which is why it was sold out. And the delivery boy, who has interjected way too many, this is so romantic, and I've seen so many romantic things. This is the most romantic. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't know why they made that scene. As the table is coming out of a truck, Duncan Hobbit is walking by, and Charlotte, who's a big fan, God darn it, Miranda, who's a big fan, has his book that that she read over the weekend, which is 900 pages or 1,000 pages or 1 billion pages. She runs outside. She asks him for an autograph. he kindly says, hey, no problem. Sure, of course. Carrie is offended. She's like, hey, where'd that book come from? Because if it's not her book, it's nobody's book. Yeah, I caught that. And he proceeds to sign it, and the delivery boy says that it's going to have the table that they're bringing in, they're going to be able to bring it very quietly. And he goes, don't worry, because she doesn't have any rugs. It doesn't matter. She gets offended. Here's the thing what I don't understand, because there's a metaphor in here coming in. If he's supposedly sleeping all day, when she went to drop off the basket, it was during the day. When she got the delivery of the Aiden table, it was the day and he was coming in. So did he already adjust himself to her shoes? And she's already adjusted herself. She bought carpet runners in order to absorb the noise by the way. He's having an effect on her, because that's how it works. The minute she gets pulled back or she has someone that doesn't like her, she has to bend over and take it and make her way into it, because look at what's going on with Aiden. Aiden loves her, wanted to give her everything. She pulled away. This guy is telling her that she has, horse galloping feet during the day, and now she's already changed her entire life by buying carpet runners, okay, and telling people to please take off your shoes, which she won't do. She will tell them to please stay on the runners, so not to annoy guy. And the guy downstairs seems to be up during the day. Has anybody saw that? Anybody else saw that? What's happening? Want me to do the camera? What's happening? What's going on? What's all this going? What's going on? Okay. As she's trying to find out more information about Duncan Hobbit, okay, guess who makes an appearance? Phone Samantha. Not real Samantha. So do you remember my last episode when I said I find it very odd we're 4 episodes in and they haven't done the phone texting of Samantha? Well, I was wrong. Apparently there was no contract. So they're going to fold this up as many times as they want. We're back at it again. The texting of Samantha, the texting back of Samantha, the music behind Samantha, it sucks ass. We know she's not coming back. She's made her appearance and that's it. So she's asking Samantha through text, have you heard of this guy? Because apparently London is a very small place. And since Samantha is in London, and maybe because she does know many people and this guy seems to be of the elite, it is possible that Samantha has heard of him. And she has, of course, and says that she would like to be under him. That's all we get. Samantha's back. So we're going to get a lot of this now. She made it funny. What kills me about this whole thing, before we get to the last scene of them, is that when the scene comes in where Carrie bumps into the nudist, Miranda, in the middle of the night, my eyes, my eyes, my eyes, my eyes. Think of Phoebe from Friends when you hear that. I just don't have the energy to say in the same context. Carrie's in her bed sleeping or attempting to sleep, and Shu the cat is trying to sleep on top of her, and she gets annoyed and she tells Shu that she's trying to get some sleep to please stop it. But yet, here's the thing. You're okay picking up your cat and taking him out of the room, supposed to be your pet, because you can't sleep. But it's not okay for someone to tell you that your horse feet are making too much noise and you can't take off your shoes in your home, which you shouldn't be walking around. My preference, everybody has a choice. It's just weird. And that's okay for you not to be upset with him because he's asking you to not gallop around your own house. But your cat, your innocent cat, just wants to sleep next to you and you can't sleep now, so you don't understand what the guy's going on through. Okay. So already, I don't know if both of them have pivoted to make adjustments for their lifestyles, trying to keep the war in peace. So the next scene we have is Carrie outside with Garden Boy, noting that the garden is going to look amazing. And as she is trying to compliment Garden Boy and the nephew, smoke is coming out of the Hobbit house. And apparently the Hobbit house is open and doesn't have a lock. So she opens the door. Hobbit man is sitting on a table. And again, this is during the day. So I'm assuming he's now writing during the day. Right? We're all figuring this out, right? It's not in the middle of the night. Okay? So he's not aware of the smoke that's coming out of his 1940s stove and kettle for his tea because he has earplugs on, which again must be an adjustment to galloping Carrie. Mm-hmm. And Carrie comes in and starts yelling, and he realizes what's happening. He goes to get the kettle, and it's somewhat on fire, and Carrie is stomping it with her heels. And then there's this joke between them that she says, "Wow, you're noisy. Thank God I was here and I was wearing my heels." He could have done it with his freaking shoes too. Okay. And the fact that it was smoke that you smell, he would have eventually realized something was on fire. I hope. And who knows? Maybe he would have been better off if the damn thing burned down so they could renovate it and make it look normal. I'm just saying. So he laughs. He finally made her laugh. Oh, she finally made him laugh. And he goes, "Well, I guess there goes my dinner." I don't know what he was making in a kettle. And of course, you know what this means, right? They both go out to dinner. They pick the smallest table in the biggest restaurant where they need to touch each other under the table with their feet, which is why I presume this episode is called Under the Table. How more intimate do you need to be? 3 months. And she just left Aiden. So they're flapping their lungs. He's talking about the fact that he's nervous that he's doing a biography for the first time about a woman, Margaret Thatcher, because I guess all the other ones he's done were about men. He's a writer. Then he says, "Hey, I heard you're a writer. What do you write?" Which I find interesting that he did not look her up, which means he didn't care. She proceeds to say she writes memoirs of her sluttiness, I guess, and her loves that she no longer remembers, Mr. Big, and the one that she's trying to get back with and now has lost interest in, again, Aiden. And that she's nervous because she's writing a book of not of this timeline, which is going to fail because she has no conception of a timeline or any way of shape or form of how people were and how they behaved. I don't see her doing any research. I see Miranda researching. I could presume that Duncan Hobbit is doing research because you can't write biographies without. Have you seen Carrie do any research? Have you? Have you seen her sit her down? You've seen her going up and down, going out, trolloping, and then going into the farm. And I haven't seen her sit down and do any research for this timeline that she's faux making. It's going to be great. Fantastical. Subscribe. Listen. They're talking, and, I guess she felt that she opened up to him because she's nervous about the book. Well, you should be nervous, okay? And it ends with her coming back home at night alone. He went down to his hobbit home. She went upstairs to her mansion, and she acknowledges the fact that she should be taking off her shoes. Yet again, another adjustment for a man she just met. So she takes off her heels, and we are again subjected to her funky dollar store feet. And then she just hops away. So the moral of the story is that Carrie's got a new man's in her life who has already subjected her to change her way of life because that's what Carrie does. That's what Carrie does. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the show sucks. I cannot express to you how bad this show sucks. If anyone enjoyed this, please explain to me why. How are we still watching? Okay, how am I still watching this? I am in for the pain of it. And to bring this over to you. This was not, it's getting harder and harder. It's getting harder and harder. I'm sorry, this was a little bit more rantier than usual. As I explained to you, I'm just feeling like now they're touching into subjects that you can't even make fun of anymore. You know, it's just, it's garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. And so that's the end. I don't know what's going to happen. I predicted one of the two things correctly. They are putting someone through cancer or something, which is Harry. I don't know if they're going to kill him off. Samantha is back with her faux texting. Yay, yay. Carrie is Carrie. She's going to eventually find herself attracted to Duncan Hobbit. Samantha, Seema, she's going to eventually, now that she found a kindred spirit who likes to smoke, well, we already know where that's going to go. And I really don't care about LTW. I really don't care about Miranda and her kitty cat girlfriend. And that's it. How'd you feel about this episode? The ones that did watch. And if you didn't watch, how do you feel about my rendition of what happened this one? Because this was tough. So, a couple of things. Part of the emotional part is also I watched right before I came on camera, HBO, the Mariska Hargitay biography of her mom, Jane Mansfield. And I like Mariska. I go in and out of her show, SVU, Special Victims Unit, New York. She's been on it for almost 20 something years. That's a feat in itself. I knew about her mother because she's had that close thing with Marilyn Monroe and about the accident, but I had no clue how convoluted her story is with her parents. Oh my God, I was not ready for that. Some of it was kind of heartfelt, some of it was kind of touching. So then when I came on camera and I started crying, it was because I remember, like, that's the part that I missed from the Sex and the City in the original, like those moments that pulled you into the character and not just the stupid storylines. Like, that's why I was trying to make my point. So I watched that. If you guys catched it, let me know. Tell me how you felt about it as well. I like biography shows. I have to say yet again, oh my God, you guys, I got more subscribers, more amazing comments. You people are so beautiful. You guys say some of the most hilarious, and you think the same way, and you enjoy my videos. And I am working out a way to figure out how I'm going to put all your names in front, like a monologue of all the amazing comments, because there's just so many of them. And I just want to keep telling you, I try to get to all of you, and I will throughout the week. I'm getting hopefully this one out earlier, part one and two, so you guys can enjoy it for the full weekend, because this is what drives me to do this, even though this show is getting harder and harder. But you are so amazing, everyone. And I cannot tell you how blessed and how wonderful I feel to have such an amazing community behind me. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm trying to hold back my tears because I refuse to cry again. Oh, I won't do it. Maybe next week. I can only do it once a week. Thank you, everyone. I want you to enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Thank you. Goodbye.